Today, I'm on Sydney's northern beaches in Ivanhoe Park. It's a great spot for a game of cricket, a bit of rugby, maybe some bowls, or even just a leisurely walk. But what if I told you it was hiding a secret, a hidden gem that most of the locals don't even know about? Just a stone's throw from the beach and surrounded by the hustle and bustle of modern Manly, this park was founded in 1884. Locals drive past and might notice the expanse of trees, but little do they know, those huge trees are hiding a pocket of heritage botanical treasures. Lloyd, what an amazing place. The feeling in here, you're just totally away from the hubbub of Manly.
Yes, been here from round about 40 years or 50 years after they established the colony. And it became the place for people to come on weekends to enjoy themselves.
Lloyd discovered this place in 2003, and after volunteering for 5 years, he's now the president of the Friends of Ivanhoe Park volunteer group. I hear there's some pretty interesting history to this place.
The wildflower shows started fairly early on, and they were always under the auspices of the government house. And usually it was the governor's wife that organised them. And they used to sweep the whole area, pick wildflowers and put them on these houses that they had built in the garden to show people what sort of flowers they would see if they went to, say, North Head or over to DY.
So literally one of the earliest wildflower shows.
Yes, but in those days, they didn't realise they were actually taking them from the land and not replacing them. When the flower shows stopped, it enabled the flowers to grow in the area. And today, fortunately, we see wildflowers only because they did stop the flower shows, and it's the best thing that's ever happened for this garden, but the whole of the green space up and down the coast from one end of the northern beaches to the other.
What a fascinating bit of garden trivia. Now it's about time I find the people who keep this garden growing. The beating heart of the garden, the volunteers. Well, 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 I can hear the sounds of gardeners at work up here. What a place. This is amazing up in this part of the gardens. So what motivates you to come out on a fine morning like this and get involved?
Love of plants. There's nothing more relaxing than pulling out a weed.
Where did you get this love of plants?
Always loved it. It's good exercise. You don't see any sick gardeners.
What do you love about being out here?
It's got a wonderful history. It's rich in its culture with Manly.
Standing here and looking out, I'm not in Manly, I'm in the Royal National Park. Typical sandstone rock outcrop, the Angophora growing up here. It's the way it would have been hundreds of years ago.
It's very beautiful. The people who walk through here, when they see us, they stop and they just say, look, you're doing a great job, keep going. So it's a good purpose.
Once the park became heritage, the council did a full census of the garden, revealing over 400 different plants across about 92 different species. And it's got one of the most interesting collections of trees you'll find anywhere in Sydney. Lois, you've got a pretty good understanding of the trees in this collection. Why is it so special?
It's a very unique garden in the northern beaches. It's one of the oldest gardens in Sydney with what we call our legacy trees, the figs and the Norfolk pines. And then over time, more and more trees have been added. So we have 4 different Araucaria trees, including the bunya pine, the very large bunya pine. And we have 5 different species of fig. And then we have single trees that come from other parts of the world. We have a silk floss tree from South America. We have a cottonwood tree from America. We have a tree from Africa, a yellowwood,
And what is so special about the collection of trees here?
The heritage value, because the trees that were planted starting in the 1860s, but the trees that grow now in the Sydney area will not all survive if the climate changes. We've been told that Sydney will become more subtropical, like Queensland, and so some of the rainforest trees that we've got in the garden will probably be the trees that will survive better in Sydney in years to come.
This place has a wealth of fascinating plants, but it couldn't survive without the dedicated team of volunteers working hard to maintain this magnificent garden. And no matter what their capability, everyone adds value. I was told I'd find you in this part of the garden, Judy.
Oh, hi.
What's going on here?
Well, welcome to our sensory garden. And it's for people who have different levels of ability in all sorts of ways. First of all, you'll notice all the beds are nice and high up off the ground.
Yeah.
For oldies like me who don't want to be down on our hands
Crouching
and knees
down.
digging.
Yeah.
But also people who are in wheelchairs, people who might have different levels of mobility can appreciate it without having to be down at ground level. And then in each of the beds, nice soft lamb's woolly kind of ears.
Yeah.
Herbs that have different smells.
Yeah.
Roses when they're flowering have beautiful scents.
Colour.
Colour. So it's designed in the different beds to have different ways of appealing to people's senses.
So should you appeal to my sense of weed removal?
Well, yes, please, have a trowel.
Here we go. Here we go. Lloyd, I have had the best day. I can see why you love this place.
I'm glad you can. We've got to tell more people about it so that they can come in and enjoy it as much as you did. And thank you very much for being here and enjoying it.
Been a treat.
Good.
This place has everything I love to see in a garden. It's bringing local community together to preserve botanic heritage and improve public space. You can't get much better than that. So I suppose there's a lesson for all of us. Stay curious out there. You never know what could be right under your nose.